This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The following will contain strong language, adult themes. Sorry.
What is
for
so
context, Mara is sitting on the edge of her sofa, looking down at I don't know what. Okay, sorry, I'll try that again. I'm so sorry. Season 7, episode 1, let me just lock in. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The following will contain strong language, adult themes, and of course, Mara. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. On with season 7. Hi, Hussein, it's Nell.
Hi. I can't look at Mara. I actually can't.
You're not looking at anyone.
In my peripheral is the custard creams and you trying to get settled.
Oh, Lord,
Sorry, hi guys, what's goody? It's Tammy.
Hey.
Breathless.
Oh no, I think it clipped on that bit.
Hey.
Hey. Go, Mara.
Is this all on record?
Yeah, I'm keeping
Please
this.
do not delete this. That
I'm
is
keeping
too
this. Is
funny.
going in the episode.
Wait. Hey. It should go, Mara.
And this is the Not Too Much podcast.
If you know...
You know.
Oh, actually, I'm not meant to do that bit. But you let me run with it anyway.
That's a
Such
shout.
a real one. Thank you.
Well. We're back. We're back.
You would think we've never done this before.
Yeah.
The way it's...
For context, guys, this is probably our 6th take. Or 7th. 7 for 7 seasons.
Yeah, lucky number 7.
Mm-hmm.
777. You know what? That's my phone case.
She has a 777.
For those who will be able to
Screensaver.
see this.
For
You
those-
even went into my shot.
went into
Yeah.
Tammy's camera. But
Exactly.
we're back. Back with a bang.
Back like we never left.
Boop, boop, boop. Let's get straight into it.
Because you're tired. She didn't even want to do any social niceties or any kind of segue.
I'm not even trying to segue into it.
Let's just go for it, man.
I want all of us,
Oh.
Yeah.
you know, NTM hosts and listeners alike, to kind of sit back, relax, take a gander into your mind's eye.
Gandering.
Breathe in, breathe out. Think of your favourite Black British podcast. Scratch that. Think of your favourite Black British female podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Agony Aunt based?
Mm.
Let's let that
into
simmer.
it.
Okay.
Because let me get into it. I love all the Agony Aunt podcasts out there.
Yeah.
I think, not all of them,
Okay.
but I have my favourites.
Yeah,
The
okay, that's
format,
fair.
Yeah, I have my favourites and it's brought in a lot of really beloved Black British figures.
Yeah.
No, that is true.
To me, that
Yeah.
format of Agony Aunt,
Mhm.
because it's not just female. It is there are male Black British podcasts that are Agony Aunt based too.
Yeah.
It doesn't
No
have
comment.
to be. And I think it speaks to a particular sense of community.
Mhm.
You know, sharing stories. Yes, is it gossipy? Sure.
Yeah.
But I love the format.
Mm.
However, that format does tend to be more prevalent.
Mm.
No, is it more prevalent? That's the question. Is the Agony Aunt format more prevalent within the Black British community when it comes to podcasts?
My question is, do they start off with the intention of being an Agony Aunt podcast, or is that imposed on them to behave like Agony Aunts throughout their time? As in, a podcast could be simply there, because there are different categories of podcasts, right? And it could be simply there just to share knowledge, to talk, and there might be an advice element that comes from being just naturally introspective. But then in terms of the relationships and the audiences that they build, the expectation that they actually become Agony Aunts rather than that being their original intention, if that makes sense. Because sometimes I feel like it can be imposed on them. As opposed to being like, oh, this is the intention of our show.
That's fair. You know what I would say,
Mm.
or perhaps suggest? I think actually a lot of people struggle with the podcast format because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily the same as like content creation as in like a video, or it doesn't rely on visuals. It does rely on an audio environment.
Mm.
So I think people attempt to kind of do their call to action through the advisory element of a podcast. And that's how we get into a lot of like, send your questions in. It's kind of like opening up that environment for the audience to kind of build that
relationship,
parasocial relationship, honestly, in a way that is, it was very different to like a visual based content creation.
It's the most engaging way
Yeah.
to start off a podcast
Allegedly.
and immediately capture the attention
Yeah.
of potential listeners.
Yeah.
Mm.
However,
Oh,
I don't think it's engaging at all. I'm so sorry.
really?
There's only a certain amount of times that someone can ask if they should be dating this person, if they should be friends with this person anymore. Like, this is the like, it's literally the same format, and there's only so many times someone can give advice and their opinion on the same subject matter before we're like, the Spider-Man meme.
It can get a
Yeah.
bit redundant.
Yeah, and I think it's a struggle for podcasts, especially when there's so many of them. It kind of blurs into one space, and then you have the type of emergence of, okay, well, how can I get my opinion to be as unique and like captivating than all the other podcasts doing it? Then we get wayward stuff.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. I was going to say, kind of in support of the point that you're making, that I think when I am coming across Agony Aunt style podcasts, it's not necessarily the format that I'm tuning in for, because I think for me, that aspect of similar questions being asked, similar advice being given can become redundant. It's more so the way that they're delivering it. Like, I've seen Agony Aunt style podcast, let's call it, but they deliver it with a certain style of humor or wit, or the way that they kind of brand their segments of advice is what I'm actually I'm tuning in for, the personality, as opposed to question and answer, if I'm being honest.
I think, you're right. Because if we're going to be honest, there are a lot of podcasts that start out with just an Agony Aunt format, but just don't make it.
Yeah.
Fairs.
They just fall flat. The ones that have made it, it's because their personalities are engaging enough that you want to feed into it. And then and through that format, you're able to then gauge their opinion about certain topics that interest you. You can delve into them more and then develop that parasocial relationship.
Yeah.
And you know what I found? I think people actually enjoy when it's like a few people on the podcast with different opinions about how to handle the certain situation. I just feel like that's because we're messy and we like to see people tussle a bit.
Because I was going to ask, is this just a consequence of the way that a British audience tends to engage?
Like a bit of mess.
We love a bit of mess.
Love our reality TV show
I was
culture is
literally about to say
all
that.
about them.
From Jeremy Kyle
Oh my
to Love
goodness
Island.
gracious.
Yeah.
We like mess
Yeah.
across the British population.
Yeah, we are very cutthroat.
Your
audience.
Geordie Shores, your X on the beach. Sorry.
Hey,
Let's stop there. I do not want to expose myself too much. But yeah, I wanted to ask, do you think that there is a pressure for, I think, I want to put out there, especially like for Black women, because I think that there are certain demographics where it goes beyond just like the creative format. It's like the societal pressure to be some form of like advice, like hand, or like to support people in this kind of pastoral way. Do you think that there's pressure for Black women, let's open that up, entering into that podcast space to take on Agony Aunt formats in order to make it, or to engage a particular audience base, or to attract particular sponsorships?
I think yes, but we can't deny that there's a reason why we do it.
Hear
me out.
Go for it.
I think it's more palatable for a wider audience to take Black women in that format. Because it's easier to just use us basically as that agony aunt figure and basically go, yeah, I can go to you for advice and information, but I'm not listening to anything else. You have to say. That is true. But then at the same time, if you're starting a podcast, hey, and I'm speaking from personal experience, it's because you think your words are valuable. And so if whatever format, aside from agony aunt, but that's what we're talking right now, you think that your opinion is good enough to be shared, and you think it's important enough to be shared, there's a certain level of, how do I say it? Like, confidence and a want to do it at the same time. But I do think there's a pressure to stay in that lane and not branch out if you ever decide to.
Yeah. And I think it actually is really, like, difficult to find an avenue where, you know, you voice your opinion in this type of format. Like, you have to kind of think really outside of the box. And some people just want to start.
Yeah.
And, like, if you just want to start, then, you know what, yeah, just go for it. But
I also think it takes two to tango. In the sense that maybe the reason why there's so much demand for this style of content is because we do overshare quite a bit online.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to get into it.
The fact that these podcasts get so many people messaging in to talk about their dilemmas, their concerns.
It's an exchange of, like, vulnerability in the sense that you're willing to share those aspects of yourself. So I'm also willing to engage with you and share aspects of myself also.
The reason, you know what? I just think it gets a bit weird. Because why?
Where's the line?
Why are you... And it goes two ways. But let me start off with the sender in, the seeking advice-y. Why do you not have people at home to talk about this with? Instead, you're going to put your business on a podcast that's just going to be shared to bare people. And also, depending on who the podcasters are, some of them are going to clown you. Some of them are going to shame you.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to use your vulnerability for entertainment. Not all. I think that's really, like, in the mind.
How many of these queries are real?
That's my
Haven't we been through? I just got flashbacks.
Wait!
We've been through something like this before.
For transparency's sake, I do. When we did, because we had
a call to action,
moment.
Guys.
This is I had a flashback.
For transparency's sake, I feel when we did it, somebody put in something.
What was it about the catfishing their cousin?
And I still don't believe that's true.
No, I don't believe it's true either.
I don't think that's a real thing.
No.
And so,
also couple that with the fact that this was, you know, when I think only were a few seasons in.
Yeah.
So our kind of base of audience was quite limited to people that knew us.
Yeah,
so I was like, ain't no way anybody who knows.
But that's what I mean. So it's weird.
I thought someone was trolling. If I'm going to be honest,
it was content, and that's why they do it.
And that's why they do it.
But then, if you deep it, this is why I say it's weird. It's like the podcast version of those YouTube couple pranks.
Which we also did an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it. Because I feel like, why are we all sitting here fooling ourselves that this is true?
I have a complex relationship with Black British women doing agony on.
Okay.
Because I do think there is a need to build a level of community for us. And sometimes the only way to access that community is online. However, sometimes the content gets harmful.
Yeah.
Because the way that some podcasters respond to these queries and concerns is through perpetuating the harmful biases that they have.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this is showing some of the cracks. Like, some of them are heavily anti-black. Some of them are misogynistic. Some of them subscribe to patriarchal values.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like, hey, there's an audience for that.
Yeah.
And that believe the same thing you do. But I'm like, some of this is quite harmful.
And can we also say, depending on, because it's actually opening up a can of worms now, depending on the scale of the podcast, your volume of submissions can range. It can be anything from like a few to a few hundred to a few thousand. And so maybe not the podcasters themselves, but people actively on your team are sifting through the ones that are going to generate the most response from you and whoever you're doing it with, if that is the case. And so it is selective, it's intentional. So whether the stories are real or not, the content of them are being used for entertainment.
And don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
We understand.
We like a gossip. Best believe.
Off these mics?
Believe.
On these mics. Don't get it twisted. Yeah.
However, a part of me is just like, oh, how do they filter these things? What is the process? And it will be different for every single podcast. And I would like to say, we're not shading a particular podcast in my, like, do you know what I mean? I think just generally, it is.
Also, that's not the only way we can cultivate community, guys.
Speak on it.
There is a lot of avenues that we can go down. Like, actually, let's
avenues is in spaces or on topics.
What do you mean?
No, I'm just trying to understand when you're saying there are different ways we can cultivate community. Are we talking about in person versus online, or are we talking about on what we're engaging?
I'm thinking about
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also I was more going down the in-person thing, but also there is different ways online you can do it too.
I think the thing is about online is people are interested in one certain thing. And I don't think they're seeking out.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for either salacious stuff.
Yeah, because it travels faster.
Hey, it is interesting.
Yeah.
And it gets the group chat popping.
That's the thing.
It's true.
The group chat is the support system.
However, I do think that across the world, people are looking for escapist media. And so they're looking for things that don't force them to think critically.
Yeah.
And that stuff sells more. And ultimately, a podcast episode is a product.
Yeah. And low-key, on the, production side of things too, because again, supply and demand, it's not, I'm not trying to be shady, I just need to put that disclaimer out there, but it's not that difficult to receive someone else's story, read it out loud, and then react to it.
It isn't, because we've done it.
Yes, that's what I'm, you know what, that's a good question. Why don't we do it?
Why don't we do Agony on?
Yeah.
Because I feel like we wouldn't be able to joke about it.
No.
That's our problem. We'd make it serious and deep, and
that's not what people want.
That's not what
people
want to hear.
It's not a general consensus type of situation.
We would be unpacking it, and it wouldn't be funny. We wouldn't be cracking jokes. Well, we always crack jokes, but we wouldn't be. It wouldn't be.
There would be no clean conclusion either. I'm pretty sure that cousin catfishing situation didn't end clean either.
Take a listen and let us know.
What you
it didn't end well, but yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, I'll still don't get me wrong. I'll still tune in to my favorite Agony Aunt podcast, but the reason why they're my favorite is because they have that nuance.
Yeah.
Yes. Exactly.
And kind of going back to what Mara said, it's different interpretations on the subject as well. That kind of makes it more engaging. But yeah.
That's not what we think.
No shade though.
No shade. No shade.
Well,
just a little.
Just a little bit.
Hey, it is the first promo break of the season. You guys know how it gets down. If you want to follow us on TikTok, we are at the NTM Pod. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we are at the NTM Podcast. Nice and easy and simple. You can take a listen to us on all platforms that are available for podcasts. I did not phrase that well, but you guys get the gist. Make sure to support us. Make sure to, help us out, share us, like us, and most importantly, keep listening. We'll be heading into topic 2. So yeah, I'll see you guys there.
Okay, before we get into this topic, can I do something real quick? Mara,
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Podcast. See?
I don't know.
Never,
what that was supposed to
because she
achieve.
was like, I will always go off a different route to her, but I don't think I'm the problem.
No,
whilst
you
Madame is
are.
doing her lip, but then we're having serious problems.
Okay, do it with
Serious
Janelle and then
under
see.
quotation.
Oh, sorry now. Do it with now and then see if
Okay,
it
Janelle.
is it, because then you can see if you guys are on the same trajectory.
Okay.
Then you
You ready though?
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
do you know the game?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's quite something. Okay. 1, 2, 3. MacBook.
Oh,
We're talking about my lip liner.
lip.
Let's continue with the episode.
Yeah, because we ain't gonna get nowhere with
This
this.
is something that we have to settle
Maybe
off
the
cam
common
and off
denominator
mic.
is you though, Tams.
Huh?
Oh.
Well, can we do a segue?
No, I don't think we have a segue. For context, yeah.
Yeah.
We did have a cheeky glass
A cheeky glass of wine.
in our intermission.
Gallo! Yeah.
But I really wanted to unpack.
You are so ridiculous. For context right now, we should just unpack and doing her lip gloss at the same time.
Well-
Pussy yellow.
Hot gal.
because we had Gallo.
Hot gal rising. Yeah.
Shout out to my Sages. I want to unpack an emotion. Selfishness.
I'm seeing it right now.
I'm on you.
No, this is vanity, babes. It's different.
Oh!
Clap that tape. Hey.
Yes.
Okay.
Eat it up,
No,
eat it
but
up.
seriously though.
Okay. Yeah, get into it.
Okay, so selfishness, I think, is an emotion that a lot of people are quick to point out.
Yeah.
They're quick to attribute to others.
Mm.
But sometimes I think the definition can get lost in the waves.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to ask, what is your definition of selfishness? Like, when you are like, this person's selfish, or I'm being selfish right now, what does that mean for you? Heavy.
It's heavy because I think a lot of people engage with the word in very negative context.
Mm-hmm.
And so already when we're saying it, the heaviness comes from wanting to elaborate without villainizing the term itself. I think, again, in just layman's terms for me, it comes down to making a decision or doing something that centers self.
Okay.
That's as simply as I would put it.
Okay.
I like that.
I kind of support that. I would rephrase it a bit. And I would say it was kind of like making this decision, doing an action that when you don't consider the consequences of that other than to yourself.
Okay.
So about consequence. More so. Okay.
Yeah. Like, you're not considering the ripple effect unless the ripple effect comes towards you.
And when we counter that with the term selfless, we're then obviously as an opposite thinking about consequences that involve other people or would have a natural effect on others.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would you say then, to jump off that, being selfish is different from putting yourself first?
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think even to actually put yourself first, you have to kind of consider others anyway.
Okay, so selfishness is the lack of consideration and of the way that your actions impact others and yourself. Because can you be selfish and it impacts you negatively?
I don't feel personally that because I think I'm viewing it more from an outcome perspective, and I don't necessarily think if being selfish all the time means out of lack of consideration for others. But I think to arrive at a selfish decision, approach, whatever you want to talk about, it means that you are acknowledging that the outcome is more weighted to self than others, or it's emphasized on you rather than other people. But I don't think it comes from a lack of consideration. I think you could still consider other people and still
be selfish.
Yeah, I would
or make
say,
a selfish act.
Yeah.
because okay, let's hammer it down a bit.
Yeah.
I think you can still consider other people. It's just that you're gonna make the decision irregardless of that consideration.
Okay.
Like,
So-
even if you consider someone else, it's kind of like, okay, but I'm still gonna do X, Y, Z.
Is there a difference then? And I don't know if this is just semantics, but actually, let's not reduce that to just semantics. This is important. Let's unpack.
Exactly.
Is there a difference between if someone is a selfish person, then they don't consider others? However, if you do a selfish act, it doesn't necessarily mean that consideration is not there.
I would agree with that, because I do think personally, for me, tend to separate the action from the person, or associating a characteristic with a person, because I think then that would be they've continuously practiced said selfish action, that it's a character trait at this point. It's not like an individual situation.
So it's based on consistency and like patterns of behavior. Okay.
That's where I'm at this moment.
So let's hone in on being selfish.
Yeah.
So the consistency, the repetitiveness of a selfish act that leads to you being a selfish person.
Yeah.
Do you think there is ever a time and area where it is positive to be selfish?
Yes. Probably many a times, actually. And to be fair, not to like skew this conversation, but even in response to the whole consistency thing, for me, sometimes sometimes it depends what the selfish act was.
Okay.
Because if it's big enough for me, it will define your character.
Okay.
Regardless of consistency.
That's fair.
That's true.
That's fair.
So it really depends what it is. Typically, though, I agree with Tammy, it's more about consistency and patterns of behavior. But sometimes an act of selfishness can be so grand
It can
that it can overweigh that.
Yeah.
So that is why.
Because to do a said act, it insinuates that there is a pattern of selfishness behind
Yeah.
Yes. You may just not have been privy to it.
Yeah.
Or had to come across that.
Because I can't assume that, like, being fair and balanced about it, I can't assume that everyone in making a selfish decision or doing something selfish either rushes to that decision or wrestles with internal guilt about following through with said selfish action or whatever. So in that, I kind of long-winded, but going back to what you said, I can understand that there are sometimes individual circumstances that kind of outweigh that general understanding that I have.
But I don't think it's inherently a selfish thing. I mean, sorry, and it's not a negative thing, selfishness, like you was saying. I think it can be positive. So
we're so bad. Give them the context.
Mara's actually gonna have to go off mic
so
because
sorry,
her camera
one
shut off.
second.
Yeah, but it's the fact that we chimed in with the so
Mara, you
typical
need to
of
edit
us.
a clip of you just going black.
And then
She is black.
Yeah.
Power to the people.
Could you check my
but-
camera while you're up there, love, please?
IT support.
This is a DIY operation, guys.
DIY, do it
We are
yourself.
self-starters, so...
Oh?
It's a battery.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll continue on the Mac.
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
This is the reality of the Not Too Much podcast.
Exactly. If you know, you know.
But tell me you're right.
Okay, cool.
Then you might just not see
Live and in demand.
Wait, but actually, you can just shuffle in.
Yeah, buddy
Shuffle
up with
into
me.
frame. Cozy up.
Yeah.
So whilst you guys are cozying up,
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna turn down Mara's mic.
Yeah,
so
It's
you
a
can
love
hear her.
story.
One thing I will say is there one way that you are trying to mindfully approach... She just gave the middle finger to the camera,
what I mean? She's been through it today.
What is one...
That's mine. Sorry.
Episode 1.
So sorry. I thought she was trying to snatch my phone. Back to the program.
Are you settled?
Yeah.
Is there one way that you are trying to mindfully approach the emotion of selfishness this year?
Soundboard. I feel like...
Can we have SFX in here?
Editing now here. I did say that I would add SFX into the episode. That was a lie. I'm not doing that. The instructions were not clear. I don't know what to add, and it's been a long day of work, so I'm just skipping it. But I really do hope you guys are enjoying this chaotic episode so far. And with that, back to topic 2. Yes.
I meant more of like a relationship soundboard, but we can also add that in,
I mean, just let me know.
Sorry.
Sorry. I feel like you guys are getting a sneak peek into our meetings.
Yeah, a collective side.
But I meant that I think because it's an experience or a reaction or an approach that revolves around self, I feel like the only way I'm able to kind of mindfully approach it and assess it is kind of with the input of others, and obviously balancing that with, as you know, the pinch of salt understanding, you take it in, but you also introspect for yourself, but having that soundboard from other people in your life when it comes up, it can be helpful.
Yeah. I agree with that. And also I think I probably would be trying to move away from justifying when I my selfish acts at times, because even when I'm like, you know what, no, I am gonna do this selfish thing, and then like, okay, but these are the 30 reasons why I also want to do it, so yeah, trying to justify my cause when I guess that's the point. But it's because genuinely I think that is a reflection of the fact that to be selfish is to still consider others at the end of the day, and that's why I feel like I have to justify.
Let's repeat that again. For the people in the back.
Oh, you want me to spin it again? Sorry.
Yeah.
Remix. Please don't set me off. What I was saying was that, trying to piggyback off what Mara said in terms of being selfish does still mean you consider others, but not necessarily choose others. That's it for me.
Yeah, I think I would agree with the both of you.
Okay.
I think for me personally, I'm still trying to understand the difference between what is selfish and what is selfless. And trying not to be teetering on the extreme.
Of either one.
Because I feel like there are moments where, yes, you got to be selfish.
Yeah.
There are moments where you got to be selfless.
Definitely.
Yes.
And how do you pick and choose based on the environments that you're in? And, it's hard. So I think it's just distinguishing how to, and I don't know if I'll ever figure that out.
It's an ongoing journey, and I think kind of going to what you said, it sparked something in my head where when you're dealing with such challenging opposites, there can be a level of exhaustion involved in the process of trying to understand, unpack, and deal with it. And it can push you to kind of go to one extreme or the other. Like some people who just are like, for goodness sake, like, why can't I choose to be selfish here or selfless here or whatever it is, and just end up potentially just going the full way of one, particularly being selfish. Sometimes that can drive people to. So I think it's a challenge of not trying to burn out in the process of unpacking those emotions.
And I think we see that grappling definitely when we're considering selfishness or selflessness kind of beyond personal circumstance, and when you get into like social, political, economical, I think that is where it's very prevalent that it is very much an internal battle for people.
Yeah.
Because there are layers to selfishness and selflessness, and you know, once you kind of go beyond your personal bubble,
Yeah.
I feel like it feels like the impacts feel very, I don't know, extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping on that,
Mm.
how do you identify when someone, whether personal or public, is being selfish? Like, what jumps out to you where you're like, you right now, you're committing a selfish act? Committing? That sounds very
Yes, committing. I like that. Committing, yeah.
Committing a selfish act, or you are a selfish person. Because we've talked about not choosing others or not considering others, but are there any other factors that make you go, something odd that you see in yourself?
Well, hey. All right.
That gallows wine got me.
Yeah.
Mm,
Got that gallow tongue.
that's something I still have to mull over. In terms of mull over. When it comes to other people, I think, especially in that, if I'm speaking to like a wider sphere, especially like in terms of like public figures and all of that, it's really hard because I think I see such extreme versions of both of them. I don't think I don't have exposure to soft experiences of, or like, I don't know how we would describe it, like light experiences of selfishness or selflessness. It always feels like it's on such a extreme scale, so it always triggers such an extreme emotion from me. So it's like, it's always dealing in absolutes. It's a complete disregard for people, or it's a complete devotion to people. It's never a reduced, display of either.
You know what's so funny? I think I get more triggered about the lukewarm.
Okay.
The lukewarm, honestly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think I actually have stronger feelings about people's selfishness when I think the stakes are not that high.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because in my sense, and this is what I was going to say, I think a trait to me that would establish you as a selfish person is if you're doubling down on their ignorance. Like, we're acknowledging it's there, we're acknowledging this fact, but I'm still gonna double down on it. For example, well, I don't know, if you want to bleep this out, you can. But
I mean, it's your
for
decision,
example,
girl.
McDonald's as an enterprise.
Yeah.
I do not eat at McDonald's for certain political reasons, right? It would be like me knowing all of the reasons why people are not eating at McDonald's, being like, okay, but the hash browns. It's just so, the hash browns. You can live without a fucking hash brown.
We're not bleeping this out.
You can live without a hash brown. And that's when I'm like, you're actually selfish, because if you can do that on this, it's literally not impactful at all to your life. If you could do this on this small of a scale,
what would you do?
You would go, and that to me, actually, I get more triggered by the trivial things, or the supposedly trivial things that people like to portray as trivial, but in real fact, I don't think it is.
Because no selfish act acts in isolation.
Yes, exactly.
There is a consequence to it, and that consequence will lead to bigger, deeper structural issues.
Exactly, like the pattern of behaviour, like you were saying.
Second camera gone.
down.
And that baby was fully charged. You guys are laughing. I'm distraught.
The cameras are being so selfish right now.
Exactly. You know?
Yours is standing strong.
That's a selfless one. That's why. And that's how
working overtime.
My gosh.
Yeah, that's a selfish act because it was charged fully. It knew it was charged, but it still wanted to shut off. You see what I mean? Trivial.
Why are you pointing at me?
In the moment.
You've come to sit next to me.
No, trivial in the moment, yeah. But in the grand scheme of things, it keeps doing, it's a pattern of behaviour.
Okay, but what I will say is, piggybacking off my other question.
Yes.
What is one way that you wish society would approach the emotion of selfishness in a more mindful way?
I feel like the typical answer would be, let's have more grace for like selfish acts, because I think everyone is trying to reframe selfishness as a positive thing. But I think we should just introduce a bit of nuance to the situation.
I was going to say not shying away from the nuance.
Okay,
I was like not being... There's not a need to be overwhelmingly positive or negative about it, but discuss.
Yes.
Discuss and unpack. Thank you now. She just turned my camera on, by the way. Discuss. Understand.
Yes.
And don't be afraid. Okay.
Yeah.
Now you asked us how we are able to maybe identify selfishness or selflessness within ourselves, right? Yeah. Being okay with acknowledging the times where, because I think, there might not be as much flack that comes with acknowledging the times when you have been selfless. Acknowledge the times when you have been selfish. Understand what that was for, the motivation. And if there is a need to, I don't know, work on something, reframe, approach something differently, do that. But don't avoid it. That's my issue, the avoidance.
Yeah.
And I think also, like you mentioned before, the lukewarm attitude. The doubling down. Because I also think sometimes the doubling down is like an easy byproduct of not wanting to confront the situation.
Yeah.
I think we should be more brave with selfishness.
Stand in it.
Just stand in it.
Because there are moments where I have been societally selfish. And the only way that I've been able to get myself out of that was to acknowledge it and understand why.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there have been times where I've seen a news headline or I've seen a social media post about something and I've just gone, not today.
Yeah.
Like, today's actually been too hard. Work has been too long for me to engage with that. I am being selfish then.
Yes.
But then in that moment, I can be selfish, but still go, there's a reason why. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're overstimulated. Come back to this when you have the capacity.
Yes, exactly.
You need to acknowledge the fact that you're being selfish, because then you can... Being selfish isn't a bad thing. It's just how you use it.
Yeah, and how you kind of engage with it after the fact. Because I think many people think that, the perpetual cycle of shame starts once you acknowledge the selfishness, but it's already begun. And you doubling down and being defensive is just a projection of that. You actually cut the head of the snake off when you genuinely acknowledge it and try to engage with it and do something about it. So, guys.
I mean,
come on, folks. Be brave.
It's okay to be selfish.
Yeah.
It's just what you do with it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And any emotion.
Genuinely. We said this before.
Because we've done our litany of emotions. We might have to revisit some with
we need to start
mature minds.
Mature mind. Come on now.
Revisit.
Maybe that
is
can be
such a... I think let that be the operative word from this conversation. The feelings that you experience, revisit.
Hallelujah.
Maybe that's what we can give an agony on episode. What emotion should we revisit next?
Tell us about your emotions.
I don't know about that.
Don't do that.
Well, I've been Nell.
I've been Tammy.
I've been Mara.
And you've been listening to the Not Too Much podcast. If you didn't know before,
you know now.
Can you keep up? Ooh. Baby boy, wanna lose my breath. Baby boy, let me lose my breath. Baby, let me lose my... Can you keep up? Baby boy, let me lose my breath. Baby boy, let me use my breath. Baby boy, let me use my...
Can you keep up? Baby boy, let me lose my breath. Let me lose my breath. Let me lose my breath. Can you keep up? Baby boy, let me lose my... Baby boy, can you lose my... Baby boy, can you lose my... I lose my... We're on the gallows wine. Gallows wine. We're on the gallows wine. Yeah, wine. Yeah, wine. Yeah, wine. We're on the gallows wine. Gallows wine. Gallows wine. All the girls in the chat wine. Wine. All the girls in the chat wine. Wine. All the girls in the chat wine. Wine. Get down, 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 down. All the girls in the chat wine. Wine. All the girls in the chat wine. Wine. All the girls in the chat wine. Wine. Get down, 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 down. Let me see you get down low.
Hey.
Let me see you get down low.
Now, ladies.
Let me see you let down low. Head, shoulders, knees, and
Hey,
toes.
let me see you get down low. Hey,
Let me see you get down low.
Now, ladies.
Let me see you get down low.
Now, head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Head,
Let
shoulders,
me get down low. Let me see you get down low.
Hey.
Let me see you get down low. Now,
Low,
head,
low, low, low,
low.
Let me see you get down low.
low, low,
Let me see you get down low.
Low, low.
Let me see you get down low.
Low,
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
low.
Hey, shoulders, knees, and toes.
and head to shoulders, knees, and toes, and head to shoulders, knees, and toes, and head.
Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it.